might be on the verge of losing Chappell Roan for good, and it's time we address why. Chappell Roan has recently opened up about stepping back from releasing music to keep her fame in check. She's been vocal about how fans approach celebrities in person, saying it's not okay for people to come up to her, touch her, or invade her personal space. While this kind of behavior has been normalized, Chappell is challenging it, saying it shouldn't be accepted. Despite facing some backlash, she's not backing down, and today we're diving into everything she's shared. When Chappell joined Olivia Rodrigo on the Guts tour, her rise to pop stardom was almost overnight, and she's been very open about how overwhelming this sudden change has been for her.
I just want to be honest with the crowd, and I just feel a little off today because I think that my career's just kind of gone really fast, and it's really hard to keep up. And so I just being honest that I'm just having a hard time today. This is all I've ever wanted. It's just heavy sometimes. So thank you for
I just wanted to share that I am very fortunate and grateful to have my dream job. This job is very difficult for me to process and maintain a healthy life and mindset. I already have difficulty regulating my emotions because I have bipolar 2 disorder. Everything is very exciting right now, and I'm realizing that success actually makes me quite uncomfortable and self-conscious, and I'm not sure why yet. This career is fucking hard. I'll be fine per usual, but thank you everyone for the continued support.
It's clear that rising to fame so quickly after years of hard work can be overwhelming. Chappell has been around for a while, starting out with YouTube covers. Back then, she was still using her real name, Kaylee, before adopting the stage name Chappell Roan. She got a record deal in high school with Atlantic Records, but in 2020, after releasing her single Pink Pony Club, they dropped her. And I bet they regret it now. After getting dropped, she moved back in with her parents, but decided to give music one more shot. She gave herself a year to make it work, and things finally started to take off. But with this sudden fame, she's also facing a lot of challenges. It's no secret that celebrity life can get pretty wild with the paparazzi, fans, stalkers, and everything in between. A lot of people will say, well, that's what they signed up for. They knew what they were getting into. But that doesn't make it okay. Just because someone's famous doesn't mean people should feel entitled to invade their personal space. It's not all right to assume you have access to someone just because they're a public figure. There's this weird phenomenon where people stop seeing celebrities as regular human beings. They start to think it's okay to approach them in ways they never would with a stranger on the street. They feel like they know them because they've seen them online, in movies, or on TV. But the truth is, celebrities are still real people who deserve their own personal space. Chappell Roan has been speaking out about this recently. She's shared her thoughts in several TikToks and on Instagram, where she opened up about how uncomfortable it is when people cross those boundaries. It's a tricky situation because whenever a celebrity speaks out about wanting personal space, some people are quick to say, well, your fans made you famous, so you should be grateful. But that's not really fair, is it? Chappell's comments have sparked a lot of conversation, with people having plenty to say on both sides.
I need you to answer questions. Just answer my questions for a second. If you saw a random woman on the street, would you yell at her from the car window? Would you harass her in public? Would you go up to a random lady and say, can I get a photo with you? And she's like, no, what the fuck? And then you get mad at this random lady? Would you be offended if she says no to your time because she has her own time? Would you stalk her family? Would you follow her around? Would you try to dissect her life and bully her online? This is a lady you don't know. And she doesn't know you at all. Would you assume that she's a good person? Assume she's a bad person? Would you assume everything you read about her online is true? I'm a random bitch. You're a random bitch. Just think about that for a second, okay?
She went on to post another video talking about how just because this behavior has become normalized, it doesn't mean it's okay.
I don't care that abuse and harassment, stalking, whatever, is a normal thing to do to people who are famous or a little famous, whatever. I don't care that it's normal. I don't care that this crazy type of behavior comes along with the job, the career field I've chosen. That does not make it okay. That doesn't make it normal. It doesn't mean I want it, doesn't mean that I like it. I don't want whatever the fuck you think you're supposed to be entitled to whenever you see a celebrity. I don't give a fuck if you think it's selfish of me to say no for a photo or for your time or for a hug. That's not normal. That's weird. It's weird how people think that you know a person just because you see them online or you listen to the art they make. That's fucking weird. I'm allowed to say no to creepy behavior, okay?
Now, some people might watch this and think, what's she complaining about? She's famous, she's successful, people love her art, what's the problem? But I think it's important to have this conversation, especially today when social media can catapult someone into fame overnight. That has to be a bit scary, right? To wake up one day and suddenly have all these eyes on you, it must be overwhelming. I see this a lot with artists who just want to create, but don't necessarily want to be famous. Yet, to get their art out there, fame often comes as part of the package. That's why some artists go out of their way to hide their faces, because they want to share their work without the constant pressure of being in the public eye. I totally get that. Chappell's quick rise to fame has definitely shaken her, but it's more than that. Recently, on Drew Afualo's podcast, Chappell had this to say.
People have started to be freaks.
Yeah,
they follow me.
Yeah, they follow
and
you around.
follow like know where my parents live and like where's my sister works, like all this weird shit. And I'm just like, this is the time when I was like a few years ago that I said if stalker vibes, like family was in danger, is when I would quit. And like we're
Me
there.
too. Same.
We're
Yeah,
there.
Same.
And so I'm just kind of like in this battle of like I've like pumped the brakes on honestly anything to like make me more known.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a forest fire right now, just like being itself.
Yeah.
And like, but I'm not trying to go do a bunch of, shit.
Yeah, it's just kind
like
of what's happening.
I just want to do like
your art and
that, but just things that are like this, like just girly time and not like such high, like I feel like I could be myself. I don't have to be like super
Chappell.
Yeah,
super Chappell.
Yeah.
Because people are digging too deeply into her life, Chappell might take a break from her career sooner than we thought. She's mentioned before that she would quit if it got to this point, and honestly, I wouldn't blame her. She needs to do whatever keeps her sane and gives her peace of mind. But it's really disappointing to see people ruin a good thing like this, especially since so many of us believe Chappell Roan is changing pop music for the better. I'd hate to see her step back over something that could have been avoided if people just respected her boundaries. A few weeks ago, Chappell also took to Instagram to talk about all of this, writing, "For the past 10 years, I've been going nonstop to build my project, and it's come to the point where I need to draw lines and set boundaries. I want to be an artist for a very long time. I've been in too many non-consensual physical and social interactions, and I just need to lay it out. Women don't owe you shit. I chose this career path because I love music and art and honoring my inner child. I do not accept harassment of any kind because I chose this path, nor do I deserve it. When I'm on stage, when I'm performing, when I'm in drag, when I'm at a work event, when I'm doing press, I am at work. Any other circumstance, I am not in work mode. I am clocked out. I don't agree with the notion that I owe a mutual exchange of energy, time, or attention to people I do not know, do not trust, or who creep me out, just because they're expressing admiration. Women do not owe you a reason why they don't want to be touched or talked to. This has nothing to do with the gratitude and love I feel for my community, for the people who respect my boundaries, and for the love I feel from every person who lifts me up and has stuck with me to help the project get to where it is now. I am specifically talking about predatory behavior, disguised as superfan behavior, that has become normalized because of the way women who are well known have been treated in the past. Please do not assume you know a lot about someone's life, personality, and boundaries because you are familiar with them or their work online." She also captioned the post with, "I turned off comments because I'm not looking for anyone's response. This isn't a group conversation. I understand that this is jarring to hear from a person in my position. I'm not afraid of the consequences for demanding respect. Just to let you know, every woman is feeling or has felt similar to what I'm experiencing. This isn't a new situation. If you see me as a bitch or ungrateful or my entire statement upsets you, baby, that's you. You gotta look inward and ask yourself, wait, why am I so upset at this? Why is a girl expressing her feelings and boundaries so infuriating? That is all. Thank you for reading. After that, she shared a video thanking those who listened and supported her.
Thank you for reading how I feel. Thank you for listening. I've just said my piece. Now you know how I feel. When a woman is upset and says something, the automatic response is to be like, yo, chill. It's like, it's not chill. So I'm not gonna be chill. I want to throw fucking parties for gay people on stage. Like, that's my favorite part of this. And I want people to feel safe at my shows and feel like a community. I want to feel that way too. I love you. And love is not transactional. And I think you know that. I just thank you for your support. This has nothing to do with that. Thank you for understanding.
Before this Instagram post, people weren't super understanding. They felt like she was being ungrateful or complaining about the life she chose, but after her post, a lot of people are seeing things from her perspective. She's grateful for her fans and her success, but that doesn't mean she has to accept creepy behavior. I think most people can understand that, but of course, there will always be those who don't. And to them, she's asking, why are you so upset by this? What's the part that's really bothering you? She's saying she's grateful, so what's the issue? So, yes, unfortunately, it seems that we are at risk of losing Chappell Roan, and I really hate to say that, as I mentioned earlier. It sounds like she may be planning to take a break sooner than expected, focusing on more personal and intimate projects rather than the big pop star activities. But there is a significant discussion that needs to happen about this parasocial dynamic that is so pervasive within fan bases. Often we hear the argument that true fans wouldn't disrespect the artists they admire, but at this point, we can't ignore how common these parasocial behaviors have become within fandoms. It's time to address this issue head-on. In the age of the internet, where musicians and celebrities share so much of their lives with us, it's easy to feel like we know them personally. But the truth is, we don't. And being a fan doesn't entitle anyone to pry into their private lives. Musicians are entertainers, but their obligation ends with their music. The only content we should be consuming is what they choose to share. Anything beyond that should be completely off limits. There needs to be a broader conversation about parasocial relationships because they've become so normalized within stan culture. And listen, I'm not pretending to be innocent here. I was a young, naive teenager once too, but we need to recognize that we don't really know these people. You can respect and admire the persona they present on stage, but at the end of the day, they don't know us, and we don't know them. While many celebrities may appear to live a perfect rock star life, they are still human beings who deserve respect. If you wouldn't want something done to you, don't do it to someone else. No one enjoys having their family and private life stalked. That's not fun for anyone. I'm not blaming Chappell at all here, and I truly hope she takes the break she needs and finds peace in this messy situation. In the meantime, as fans, we need to learn to chill out and not ruin a good thing. If Chappell decides to step away because of this, I'll be heartbroken, but I'll understand. So, that's what she had to say recently about how people have been treating her, and why this kind of behavior is just unacceptable. We need to stop normalizing or excusing this type of behavior. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe. As always, I'll see you in the next one.